Well, I like to start off by kind of a short story. Is that when I first came here in OSA and I joined the basketball team, it was our final game, and a bunch of grade 12s came out to cheer on some of the grade 12s. They made posters and they shouted and cheered, and that's the first kind of connection I made that OSA's together. They cheer each other on. They make sure each other has such a great time at their events, and we were down 60 that game, and they kept cheering. So I want to make sure, and that really sparked something in me, is that I want to make sure that every single person in OSA has that same kind of cheer going behind them. They have that same kind of person behind them supporting them. And I kind of want to be that person and lead that charge so that every event that's held by a club, every single event that's held by SU gets spread around the school, and everybody has that support going into it. And they don't feel left behind. And that's what OSA is to me. It's a big family that all supports each other, just like those grade 12s supported their final game by making posters, cheering each other on. And I want to be that person to cheer you all on.
Now, much the same question. So why do you want to be VPI?
So I guess I'll start off with a similar sort of story. I came into OSA, and my favorite event of the year had to be pancake breakfast, and that was one of the many events that SU holds that bring people together and bring friends together. And I want to be a part of what makes those events happen, and I want to embody that in being a VPI. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. My next question is, what specific qualities do you possess that make you best suited to be VPI? We'll start with Mike.
I personally think that I'm very outgoing, a very happy person, but besides that, and being able to talk to you and be approachable, I also have experience running an improv club and directing in drama, so that means I know how to be a leader and I know how to get things done, and that's why I think I have the specific qualities needed in a VPI. Thank you.
Same question.
So I really think a VPI should be approachable, they should be dedicated, they should really have those leadership qualities. And I really think I embody that because for the past 2 years I've been an exec of Right to Play Club and Multicultural Club, and I know what kind of problems these clubs face when holding their events. And in terms of leadership, I've also been on a leadership group for Legacy Edmonton, and I'm also part of Sustainable Youth Canada. So I know how to work in a team environment and how to work with others to make sure events get showcased and they happen. And in terms of outgoing, I feel like I'm very easy to talk to. If you guys come up to me, I'll be extremely approachable and I'll listen to your ideas and I'll make sure they get heard to SU. And I'll make sure that if you're a club and you want your events heard and you want to come to the SU meetings and talk about your events, I'll make sure that people understand what you're saying and they hear what you want to get through. Thank you.
So both of you guys have touched a lot on clubs already, but I guess my question now is, how do you feel about how clubs affairs were dealt with this year, and what changes would you like to see for next year?
I felt that this year there were some clubs that encountered problems with getting their rooms booked for meetings, such as Hope at Home. They sometimes had a problem with going into Mr. Lee's room, but other students were there. So I really want to fix that problem and clear up double booking. And also another problem with clubs was that I felt they didn't have their voices heard enough, so that their turnouts for their events, such as sales outside that are for really amazing causes, didn't get the outcome that they deserved. And I really want to focus on bringing that forth and making sure the clubs get their voices heard and they ensure that they have a place to meet.
Question again. So how do you feel about how clubs affairs were dealt with this year, and what changes would you like to see for next year?
I think SU did an amazing job with clubs this year, but going off what Vigot said, the issues that he's presented, there's also things about accountability in the kitchen, because I know that a lot of people are stressed out about that, and the fact that clubs aren't accountable and responsible for their own affairs, and they leave things lying around in the kitchen. I think a huge, not an issue, but something we can definitely improve on is publicity. So it's getting the smaller clubs out there and getting people to attend their events. Because I was an exec of Improv Club, and I know that the biggest issue for me when I was thinking about having after-school events was, would people come? So I think that would be a huge, huge thing I would focus on. Thank you.
Okay, so just to bring the focus a bit away from clubs, I also want to know what else you think BPI is responsible for and how you
believe besides just managing clubs, VPI, they are an integral member of SU and they're a friend to the school. So that means they try hard to hear everyone's voices in the school. And that's not just the grade 10s and 11s this year, but the incoming grade 9s next year. They learn and they listen to people's issues and their critique, and they take that in and they bring it to the students, like to SU, to help create better events and be a dedicated and to be there for the student body. Thank you.
So you guys talked a little about clubs, but I want to hear what you think the VPI's role is in SU and in the student body.
Okay. I think there's 4 main words that kind of embody what a VPI would be for the student body. Is that a friend for everyone? And wait, that's 3 words. No, 4 words. And with that being said, I feel like they're a person that anybody across the school can come to and pitch their ideas, whether it be for a club, sorry for mentioning that, but a club or anything, and a person that they can confidently talk to about anything without being put down. And I think George did a great job with that this year, and you guys all saw how friendly he was to everyone. And in terms of SU, I think that VPI is a person that really confidently embodies the student body and brings their ideas forwards and shows what they want to see towards OSA and their vision for what they see going towards OSA. So I really feel like VPI is an integral part for that, and they'll really be somebody that embodies the student body and shows what they want.
All the questions that we came up with as execs, now we're going to open it up to the audience. Does anyone have any questions for our candidates?
What distinguishes you as a candidate?
Okay, so wait, Sarah, I'll repeat that so the camera can hear too. What distinguishes you as a candidate? So I guess from each other, since there's only 2 of you. I'll start with you, Gonzo.
Okay. Well, I feel for me, I've really gone through every aspect the school has to offer, from leadership to sports to musical theater, and gone kind of under every teacher and been a part of multiple clubs. So I really feel that new grade 10s that are coming in and the grade 11s that are going in next year, and really feel what they want. Like, I was talking to Kevin today, and he talked about how distressed he was about the kitchen. And that's kind of been a theme that's been going on for the past few years. And I noticed that last year when I was on the Hope at Home Club and the Multicultural Club when we were trying to have a sale. So I really feel that my past experiences on sports and through leadership and through musical theater really let me know what the school has to offer and what the school's potential is to offer.
I think inside the school, one of my biggest passions is theater. So that is musical theater, it's drama, and it's starting an improv club for the first time we've had in 4 years. And those sort of commitments take time and energy and dedication, and I think that's what I've shown over the last 2 years. And along with that, I think VPI should be both approachable, but they should go out of their way to figure out, to listen to other people. So they should approach the students to see what they want, because it is difficult to say, hey, I do have an issue. It's so much better to be like, do you have an issue? Yes, I do.